Good morning, internets. It is Friday morning. I'm on my way to the magazine, and I am actually sort of bummed out that it's Friday because it means that I can't go to work tomorrow. I've asked, they won't open. So I don't know if I've had jobs that I really liked before, but I've never had one where I'm like, oh, it's Friday. I feel like such a nerd, like more of a nerd than usual. Because I'm like, ooh, I want to go to work. Yay! Oh, but anyway, it's been 2 weeks in this here Kia Soul. I'm going to get you guys an update about Alessandro and tell you what I think of this thing. So here's what's up. So, the body shop has been in touch with us and they've been great. They finally managed to track down the specialty paint for Alessandro. So that 2012 Chevy Volt Premium that I'm super excited about, and I am excited about it, it has a special paint, which is one of the reasons that I liked it. It has this like tri-color, tri-chrome paint, and sometimes it's silver, and sometimes it's blue, and sometimes it's teal, depending on where you stand, and there's like a special pearl in it, and it's lovely. It's also difficult to find, and you can only get it directly from GM. So that took a minute. And now they're telling me that he will be done on the 24th. So he will be home before my birthday, just barely. So that's good. I was worried about spending my birthday with the Kia. And like, it's a fine car. We're about to get to that. But so Alessandro's almost done, and then will come the painful time of paying the bill. Yeah, there it is there. So gonna be in the Kia for another week. I could change rental cars when I get that. I could be like, okay, now give me something else this week. But this is on the bottom tier, and I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money on a rental car right now. Like, why? I have a deductible to deal with. And this thing has been comfortable. Like, it's been super easy to get in and out of, and here's where I start to feel a little guilt. It is much easier for me and my messed up knee and back to get in and out of this thing than it is to get in and out of the Volt. Don't get me wrong, I don't have any particular difficulty with the Volt, but when I step out, let's see if this will make sense. The Volt is low enough that when I swing my legs out, my knees are above my hips. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but when you step out of this thing, my knees are below my hips because it's, you know, it's a little higher up in the air. So I can just stand up rather than having to do a squat, if that makes any sense. And I haven't hurt myself or anything getting out of Alessandro, but at the end of a long day, when if it's a bad day and we have weather and the leg's already giving me trouble, you know, it can be an extra couple of seconds for me to brace myself to get out of the car properly with Alessandro, and that's one thing I don't have in the Kia. The cargo space in here isn't bad. Those seats back there fold down just like they do with Alessandro, but the hatch opening in this is so much smaller than in the Volt, and that's a little weird to me because the car feels a lot bigger. It is a lot bigger. It's got a bigger footprint and it's higher up, so like it's weird to me that the cargo space seems so small, and there's way less cargo space in the hatch without putting down the seats. It's like that wide for the back of the seats to the door. So like, and that's not even enough for like me to do groceries. Like I have to put the seats down all the time. And it's not particularly difficult to do, but it's like, it's one extra annoying thing. It's like, why is this necessary? Also, this car has a drinking problem. I have not been in a gas-only car since, you know, for this amount of time, you know, since before I got the Volt, since October. So, you know, and there were a couple of times when I had to leave Alessandro at CarMax to get a couple of things fixed for a few days, and they gave me a little Mazda or a little this or a little that for a minute. And but this is the longest I've been in an ICE car since switching from my Passat to the Volt. And it's like I'm having to go to the gas station like once a week like a normal person, and I don't know how I ever put up with this. I don't know how I ever put up with going to the gas station, giving them $30, and driving away feeling exactly the same as I did before I spent $30, except for now I don't have that $30. Like that, like from my perspective, like I know that now the car has gas in it and it won't run out of gas. Like that's why I did that. But I drove there and then I drove away. Like it feels exactly the same. I spent $30 on what? On what? this thing has a mile per gallon gasometer up here, and it says, you know, when I picked it up, it said it was getting 19 because it was being driven, you know, like a rental car. I drive like an old lady, so it is getting 26.8 miles per gallon right now, and that's where it's at. And that's pretty good. Oh, and it just rolled over to 11,500 miles just now. That's what it's got on the odometer, so that's pretty cool. But it's just, it's never enough with this thing. It's like, and now I know I do have to put gas in Alessandro, but it's rare. And he's more gentlemanly about the way that he consumes the gas. It's like, it's the difference between drinking with a frat boy and drinking with your sophisticated friend who likes wine. Like Alessandro and I are having, you know, glasses of wine, and he's just like, just a little bit of doomy, and then, you know, he finishes his glass of wine, and it takes a long time. We have a conversation. It's really more of a, the alcohol is really more of an accent, or in this case, the gasoline is really more of a, just a little bit of flavor on our experience together, rather than the entire freaking purpose. Like when you're drinking with a frat boy, and he's like, shots! And you're like, why? Why so many shots? It's like, drink, 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 drink. Chug, 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 chug. And at the end of the night, I'm looking at the Kia, and I'm like, how much more can you drink? And the bartender's like, hey guys, your bill is due. And the Kia's like, my friend's gonna pay us. She works in a magazine. And then I end up having to pay for all the gas. And I'm like, whatever, Kia. Whatever. With your silly small hatch and not as much cargo space and extremely comfortable seats. The seats are extremely comfortable. But drinking problem. It's time for an intervention. Ugh. It's just, it's agitating. I put gas in it last Friday, and now I'm down to a quarter of a tank. Where did it all go? I mean, I do drive entirely across the Las Vegas Valley to and from work every day. But Alessandro can do that drive entirely on battery power. I can get home with like 2 or 3 miles left on the 40-mile battery. And that's not bad, man. Like, I can go most days without burning any gas at all with Alessandro. And this here Kia, which I haven't named because it's a rental, and I feel weird that I haven't named it, but I don't know. I felt like naming it Miles, you know, because it's a soul. Anybody? Crickets, right? All right, whatever. That was clever, but but like it's not cool enough to be named after Miles Davis. It's not. It's like, I like it, and it's a perfectly good car. And now that I'm driving this around town, I see them freaking everywhere. The Kia Soul is extremely well selling. I guess I knew that before, but like, it's like, now that I'm in one, now I start to see them. And when I see them around town, and people clearly like them, and I can see why. It's so comfortable. And if you've never had an electric car before, like if I had driven this before I even considered a hybrid or electric car, it probably would have been in the running for cars I would have considered purchasing. I was looking for something without a trunk. You know, I didn't want a sedan. I was looking for something with 4 doors. I was looking for something with comfortable seats. I was looking for something that got decent mileage. And as far as ICE cars go, that you're driving all over town in traffic and stuff, for the size of it and for its utility, 26.9 miles a gallon is what it says right now. That's not bad. That's right up there with what the Passat was doing. But after driving Alessandro, it's just ridiculous. Oh my God. Like, see, why do we still even sell gas cars? Okay, I know why. Because America's ginormous and we don't have the infrastructure yet for electric cars. But this is Las Vegas, man. This is a big city. There's all kind of places to charge. I know it's not for everybody, but like, even if you're not like pure plug-in EV, fine. I'm not. I drive an ER-EV. I'm not hating on the gas burning motor. Like, why not hybrid? They're so available, and we've been making them for so long. Why not? Why not a hybrid vehicle? You know, and dare I say it, like, why didn't the rental company have the Prius? Why? I don't know. And I've gotten so excited to get to work. I've gotten here early, and there's nobody here to let me in, so that's fun. But why? I don't know, man. Like, what's the point of the electric car, or the gas car, when electric cars are so available? And I know we've talked about that a lot on this channel, but like, rarely do I end up in a situation where I can really compare it. And it's so funny, like the car, our family, or our household, used to be a 1-vehicle household, and that one vehicle was the 92 Chevy Silverado. I'm gonna let you contemplate that for a moment. On a good day, the Silverado gets roughly 12 miles to the gallon. And on a bad day, when she was in a bad mood, because she was very moody, she'd get as little as 6 to 8 miles a gallon. That might also have something to do with Rob's mood and how heavy his foot is that day. But that was our only vehicle. So if we wanted to go to the grocery store, that was the car we were taking. If we wanted to go see the kids in a play at their school, that was the car we were taking. If we were, like, didn't matter what we were doing. If we were doing something, that was the vehicle we were taking. And, I mean, gasoline was like a third of our household expenses with a car like that. You know, and then I ended up with the Saturn Ion. And just what a world of difference between, like, not only just the gas mileage, but driving that ginormous vehicle. Because, I mean, it's a 1992 Chevy Silverado extended cab step side. So U-turns are not your friend. And it gets the worst gas mileage on the planet. Now, that having been said, it is the very coolest truck to ever truck. I'm not talking crap about the truck. I'm just saying, like, you need a daily. And that ain't it. But then I got into the Saturn Ion, and I got into hypermiling, and that car, that every body panel on it is made out of Rubbermaid plastic. So you can park anywhere you want at the grocery store with impunity. You are immune to dents and door dings. I would always take the spots that are never taken right next to the cart corrals. I would always park there because it didn't matter. You can ram a cart right into it. It would do nothing. Do nothing to it. Wonderful, wonderful car. And, you know, I started hypermiling and really getting into it, and I started getting like 34 miles a gallon out of that thing. And it had over 100,000 miles on it when I got it. And I was like, ooh, 34 miles a gallon? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then my wonderful, beautiful, smart, wonderful, beautiful, smart daughter totaled the Saturn. I love you, Amber, and it wasn't your fault. But, like, she was driving it and totaled it on my wedding day. That was an adventure. And then we didn't have the Saturn anymore. She was okay. Everybody was okay, by the way. And we got married and everything was fine. But that was the day that the Saturn got totaled, and it broke my heart. And then, you know, Volkswagen Passat. So Volkswagen Passat with the turbo, 4-cylinder turbo. And I started learning about an efficiency turbo. I started learning about, you know, the different ways to make power and the different ways to feed an engine and to fuel an engine and the different ways to power efficiency. And I could squeeze, you know, hypermiling in that thing, utilizing the freeways, utilizing cruise control whenever possible, utilizing coasting, all kinds of different hypermiling tricks. Out of that thing, I was squeezing like between 42 and 58 miles a gallon. No joke. I made people in traffic insane because I refused to do anything over the speed limit. I would not do it. I would not, because there was a little computer right in front of me constantly telling me what my mile per gallon was according to my driving style, and that was useful for me on the Passat. It was a very comfortable car. I loved that car, but the turbo went, and then it turned out to not even be the turbo that went. And it was just this whole fiasco. There turned out to be a problem with the camshaft, and a lobe was worn down, and it was not properly engaging the high-pressure fuel pump, because that car had 2 fuel pumps on it, like one either inline or in the tank, and then another one at the motor, and every time, you know, it operated on a switch, and every time a lobe of the cam would come up, it would engage that switch, and that would be, that would let the fuel in, and that lobe got worn down, and it was no longer making contact with the high-pressure fuel pump. So they literally ripped my whole motor apart and put a new cam in it, and new high pressure fuel pump, new turbo, even though that turned out to not be the problem in the first place. Wish the mechanics would have listened to us, because we knew it wasn't the turbo, but whatever. And the car was down for so long, and it was really heartbreaking. It was very, very frustrating. They got the whole motor put back together, and it was less than a month before that car started failing me again, because the old camshaft had worn out. You know, an improper channel. The channel where the camshaft went was already worn, and then the new cam and all that, it stretched in the cam tunnel, and it was over, man. Game over, man. And I went to the mechanic over at All European Auto. And definitely go to All European Auto no matter what you drive. If you drive a crappy Volkswagen Passat, you take it to All European Auto. And if you drive the world's nicest Rolls Royce, you take it to All European Auto, because they really do know what they're doing. And nobody paid me to say that. I just really believe in those guys. I really like Jason, and I really believe in those mechanics. My boss takes his Bentley there. Like, it's the spot. It's the spot, man. So I go there and I'm like, guys, what can I do? And the mechanic straight looks at me and he goes, shoot it. And I was like, okay, great. He goes, no, really, you need out of this car as quickly as possible. And then I was a mechanic that I respected and admired and that I trusted. I really trusted his advice. So an hour later, I was at CarMax trading in that Passat. And that's how much a good mechanic means to me. And that's how much a good mechanic should mean to everybody. When you find somebody that you trust, listen to your mechanic. Don't argue with somebody who you know knows more than you. And that night, I got the Volt. So out of heartache came joy and love with the Volt. And that was, I didn't wake up that morning thinking I'm going to buy an electric car today. I didn't wake up that morning thinking anything was going to happen. I was just really worried about my Passat, and I wanted to know how to get my baby fixed because I loved that car. And it never had another name other than the German or the VW. I never, for whatever reason, it didn't get anthropomorphized the way I do with everything else. I don't know why, but something in me must have known it was not meant to be, because it was always the German. You know, and I was really into efficiency then, and then we get there, and I'm looking at the price ranges and everything, and I started looking at cars, and I was thinking, like, I went there for a Honda Fit. I was like, little hatchback, something super efficient, something reliable Honda. And I was just scared to death. And we're walking up the aisles. I didn't even look at the Volt. I walked right past it, and Rob goes, that's a Volt. And I was like, what's a Volt? And he goes, they're nice. I don't know that much about them, but I know that they're really freaking cool, and it might solve your fuel problem. Let's go learn about it. And then 3 hours after that, it was 9:30 at night. I made the salesman stay and sell me that Volt. And the rest is history. So, like, going from the truck to the Ion, I was like, oh my God, why does anybody even drive trucks? And going from the Ion to the Passat, I was like, oh my God, why doesn't everybody use a high efficiency turbo? And going from the Passat to the Volt, I was just like, oh my God, why doesn't everybody drive an EREV? And going from the Volt to the Soul, I'm just like, why doesn't everybody drive an EREV? So it's not just that the grass is always greener on the other side. It's that ICE cars are dumb. And they're not dumb all the time, but if all you are doing is moving a single human being from their residence to their work and back again, and doing basic things like running errands, going to the post office, going to the bank, and getting groceries, this is stupid. This is dumb. There's no reason to have a pure ICE car when hybrids are readily available. Even if you live in a town that doesn't have like a big charging infrastructure, fine, you can't plug it in. Like, I hate to say it because I don't drive one and I don't want one, but like the Prius, like, they've made so many of them and they're so available. I got a used Volt. Now, that is a plug-in, but I was able to do that. You know, Ford has, you know, a Ford Fusion hybrid that's out there. And, like, now that they've been out there, they're used and they're available and they're affordable. This is a nice car and it is comfortable. And I am grateful that it is available to me. I'm grateful that I live in a town with so many different rental car options that I was able to actually comparison shop and ask around. And, like, when my insurance company said, like, here's the rental place we're going to send you to, I was like, nope, I already found a place. Just send the check to them, please. You know, I'm happy that things are moving along with my car and everything. Don't take me as ungrateful, but this is, as a lifestyle choice, I don't embrace or support or endorse the ICE car lifestyle. I just can't. I don't believe that you were born this way. I believe that it's a choice, and you can better yourself. Only this time when you hear somebody make that argument, it's actually freaking true. But I don't get this. What is the point of this, guys? I don't anymore. Like, is there really a point to this? That is a Prius pulling in right now. 2 cars down from me. That's not. See? They're everywhere. All right, I gotta get through this here Friday. Guys, thank you for listening to my ramble. Does anybody out there drive a Kia Soul? How do you like it? How does it suit your life? Like, do you got kids? You're moving stuff around? Are you, What is your lifestyle like, and how does the Kia fit into it? Do you know anybody that has one? I know a lot of people have these things, and they love them. I've seen them done up really cool at car shows. They make every accessory for them. Like, I'm not hating on the Kia Soul. I'm just kind of hating on ICE cars in general here. But like, I'd definitely love to know your opinion. Again, Prius people, let me know in the comments down below how you doing. How's your car doing? How's your life doing since you got it? How much money have you saved in gasoline? And that's going to about do it for me today, guys. I hope everybody's having a really great Friday. If this is your first time on the channel, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing right over here. Here's some other things I think you'll enjoy right down here. My name is Catherine. This is EVs of Nevada. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile, even when you're stuck in a nice car.